So, today I want to share a story with you. It's short, but wow, is it powerful. It's all about love and sacrifice, but also about the one thing we can never get back: time. It really makes you think about what we're all actually building with our lives. Let's get into it.
And this right here, this one sentence, it just captures the entire gut-wrenching tragedy of the story we're about to unpack. It's about a man who gave everything to build a world for someone, only to find out he wasn't really a part of it.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Our story centers on a father, his world, and this one single promise that pretty much defined every single day of his life.
I mean, just think about the irony of that for a second. He spent his entire life creating homes, creating that sense of security for other families, but he never really had one himself. This was his reality, a life of just back-breaking work, day in and day out, all of it driven by one powerful purpose.
And every evening, his daughter would ask him this one simple question. And you can just hear the longing in her voice, can't you? It wasn't just about him stopping work. It was a plea for his presence. She just wanted him to be there.
And his answer, well, that became the blueprint for the rest of his life. That promise was the foundation for every single sacrifice he was about to make. For him, her future was the only finish line that mattered. But that dream, that beautiful promise, it came with a huge cost. Every single act of his devotion carried a hidden price, one that was paid bit by bit over decades of relentless work.
You can see here how his love was literally etched into his body. His hands grew rough, not just from work, but from building her future. His back weakened under the weight of that promise. He'd skip meals so she wouldn't have to. He'd work even longer hours so she could have a bright light to study under. Each sacrifice was like a silent "I love you."
And this is where we get to the real heart of the tragedy. Because while he was showing his love in the only way he knew how, through pure sacrifice, his daughter was quietly wishing for a completely different kind of love.
Look at this contrast. It is just heartbreaking. His love was tangible. You could see it in his calloused hands and his exhausted body. It was a love of provision, but her need, it was for a love of presence. She wasn't waiting for things, she was just waiting for him.
This line coming from her is just devastating. For him, always working was just another way of saying, I'm always loving you. But for her, it just meant, you're never here.
So now we get to the turning point. The day the father finally thinks to himself, I did it. I've finally reached the finish line I set for myself all those years ago.
You could almost picture him, right? Walking home, probably with a little extra spring in his step. His heart is hopeful. He's finally saved up enough for this one beautiful gift, a physical symbol of all his work, and he just can't wait to see the look on her face.
And then he gets to the door, and it's locked. And in that one single moment, all that hope, all that excitement, it just vanishes. That locked door isn't just a physical thing. It's the first sign that the world he works so hard to build might not be there for him.
Instead of his daughter's smile, all he finds is silence. The question just hangs in the air, echoing the confusion and maybe even the fear growing in his own heart.
A neighbor comes over and hands him a letter. And in her words, you see these two worlds just collide. She did it. She built her own life, the very thing he worked for. She says, I know you did everything for me, and I love you, but then she reveals the quiet heartache she carried all those years.
And then comes the line that just changes everything. The line that reveals the awful truth. He gave her a better life, but all she ever really wanted was more of his life, more of his time. And with that one sentence, the entire foundation of his life's work just crumbles, leading to this final, absolutely crushing realization. So he slowly sits down, right there on the dusty ground. The very same earth he spent a lifetime shaping for other people. And now it's the only thing left to support him. The gift he bought, that symbol of his life's work, is probably still clutched in his hands. And here we are, full circle. In his quest to build her a future, he completely forgot to be a part of her present. He built all these structures of brick and mortar, but he failed to build a foundation of shared memories.
And so his story kind of holds up a mirror to our own lives, doesn't it? It's so easy to get caught up in building for the future, in working and providing. But this story is just a heartbreaking reminder that a true legacy, it's not made of what we own.
It's made of shared time. It leaves us with a question to chew on. In the process of building a life, are we forgetting to build the small, irreplaceable moments that a life is actually made of?